Welcome to Topic A, everyone. I'm your host, Gary Perna. This week on Topic A, crime in the city of Hazleton. Where does it stand now? 7 months into Mayor CUSAT's administration. We have the mayor here and the police chief to ask them what's going on in the city and what changes have been made to make Hazleton a safer place for all of us to live in. This week on Topic A, only on WYLN. Stay with us. We're back after the break.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home outdoor fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure, exploring local parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and free. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre, guided walks and bike rides, the D&L Trail, and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them on the website. Start exploring today.
I'm Tiffany Cloud, host of The Storm and panelist during WYLN 35's live election night coverage. I volunteer my time hosting the American Cancer Society Telethon and helping plan the Society's Season of Hope Gala. And I also support veteran organizations such as the Valor Clinic, which feeds, clothes, and shelters homeless veterans. I believe it's important to give back to our community.
The Beer Garage, 202 East Diamond Avenue in Hazleton. More than just beer. Coffee, all sizes, only $1. Get your lottery tickets here, too. Stop in today, The Beer Garage in Hazleton.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone, and I'm very pleased to be joined by Mayor Jeff CUSAT and Police Chief Jerry SPEZIALE. And guys, thanks again for coming on. We took June off of our monthly show here, but great to have you guys back with us. And I thought we would just, kind of recap, and we continue to talk about the way things are changing, and of course, the way crime is evolving here in the greater Hazleton area. Chief, recently there was just an incident in Hazleton. The first homicide for 2016 happened in July. So, that has been evolving and going on. But, crime in general in the city, where does it stand? Are we seeing an increase, a decrease? What does it look like since you've been here?
You're seeing a decrease in crime. It's moving in the right direction, certainly. In the first 2 months, when we first, measured the crime versus last year to this year, we were at a 29% decrease. I don't know where we are now, because as you provide the uniform crime reports, you have to keep gathering that data as we move forward. So we'll do a 6 month analysis and then see where we're at. But we're definitely decreasing. Our numbers are going down, but you're still, you have police officers that are extremely overworked. That leads to injuries, that leads to unsafe conditions. You have to be careful with that. I mean, just this weekend, as you stated, having a serious crime pulls the entire department in. And then what happens is, after we get done, because with a homicide, you have to, run until you capture someone or remove that threat from the community. Now you have no police officers the next day, so if something occurs, you now have people that have been working for 20 hours and you don't have enough people on the street, and you have to depend on other departments. So it's extremely difficult to do that.
You know, there's a lot has been going on in the police department wise since the mayor took office and appointed you as the chief. You know, a lot of changes have been made. I know the last show we talked about, we got the 2 cruisers that came in. Also, you have been working on grants for more funding source. So I want to ask you where we stand with that, with the grants, and see what we're doing with getting more police on the street.
In order to put more police on the street, you know, we're utilizing evidence-based policing, hotspot policing. So you create hotspots throughout the city, and then what we have been doing is putting police officers, with our new police officers that are riding 2-man cars, going to these different locations and then walking, doing walking patrols throughout different areas in these hotspot areas in all different spots throughout the city. I just applied it with a joint grant with the chief of Wilkes-Barre for a joint, what we call a justice assistance grant. That will be an overtime-based grant. Wilkes-Barre will use their money for their grant. We will use the other half for us. And basically what we will be able to do is put saturation patrols with foot patrols throughout the different hotspots to augment the force we already have with overtime. So that's what that grant will do, the JAG grant. We also have the technology grant that we applied for with the gunshot detection system. In a situation like the other night, that would have shaved off 10 minutes of time. Now, we were almost on top of the individual with it going from someone calling to 911 to a radio to a car responding. Imagine cutting all of that out and instantaneously being in the car. We also just received an LSA grant, which is $170,000. Will give us 3 SUVs, black and whites, 10 computers that will be able to do crime mapping, computer-aided dispatch right in the car, report writing. So that's going to give us camera, live stream cameras into the cars. So that's coming. You know, we just received that. So we'll be, you know, drawing down on that grant, going after that equipment. So it's going to bring us into 21st century technology with the Hazleton Police Department.
And I know that was a big issue, Mayor, you know, bringing the police department into the 21st century, giving them the tools. You know, we see crime on the street. You know, we see the incidents on the street, but there's also a lot of crime being done online that the police departments are covering. I know, you know, I've covered numerous arraignments, you know, where the incidents happen online or somewhere else, but making sure your police department has the funds and has the equipment available for that. I know we talked many times and you said, you know, the number one priority is making sure our guys have the equipment so they can do their job. You know, coming into it, we're 6 months into your administration, Chief, that's very proactive in making sure this is here. Your feelings on where the department's going?
It's going in the direction that we wanted it to. You know, I think everybody is very motivated right now. The guys are actually probably the healthiest we've been in a while. They're definitely overworked. Because, you know, the summer you get more people off. You know, a couple incidents we had, and they're wearing down. But I think that where we're heading with the stuff we need, you know, hopefully by the end of the year we have, you know, the stuff that all the tools that, you know, to help us move on.
We've talked in the past about a number, bringing more police officers onto the street. Are we any closer to gaining more officers for the department? Well,
we did set up the next civil service test that we start taking applications for now. So that I'm not sure what the date is that we have set up for that in the future. We did meet with the FOP, and we had an arrangement set where they were willing to give concessions back, so we could possibly, you know, hire more officers at one time with their givebacks and, you know, help us all in that. Unfortunately, that didn't get through council. I am going to try to put that back up in the near future to see where we could go. We need to get manpower. We're at, I think, 37 officers again now, which leaves us with, you know, we have 37, which 2 of them are still in the training process. So we really only have 35 officers right now to handle what
which is not a large number when you consider the amount of people in the city of Hazleton and what goes on.
And a tripled call volume.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
And that's total. I mean,
right.
patrol, we're probably at 20 active patrol people right now,
wow.
if not 19.
For a city that doesn't sleep. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back here on Topic A, we're going to get into some of the other issues going on and what is being done to bring the city into the 21st century with policing, and what the chief is looking forward to here in the city of Hazleton. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Were you satisfied with your child's education this school year? Well, take a look at what Marian Catholic High School has to offer. Students are challenged academically, spiritually, morally, and physically. Excellent student-teacher ratio and a full array of clubs and activities. 90% of all grads continue on to higher education. A sound investment in your child's future. Affordable tuition and scholarships are available. Log on to our website or call today for a free tour.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You're going to meet Vinny, a great guy with a great job, a great family, who had a back injury set him back not once, but twice. This time he saw Dr. John, and he is feeling so much better. His story coming up this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Visit the Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau website at tourinapa.com for the listings of the many events you will find in Luzerne County. From wine festivals, hill climbs, tomato and kielbasa festivals, you will find it all in Luzerne County. Luzerne County was named the best outdoors destination in Pennsylvania by the official Best in PA website. The Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau will help you relax, relive history, and marvel at the area's stunning natural beauty. Luzerne County, you'll find it right here in Northeast PA.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, and outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Stars of Tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone, and we're talking about the police department here in Hazleton with the police chief and the mayor. Chief, before the break, you alluded to getting 10 computers to put in the cars so officers, basically don't have to leave their cars. They can be doing their job out on the streets, patrolling, talking to people, but doing their paperwork kind of at the same time, while they're, maybe sitting watching or whatever. Why is it important to have the computers and the CAD systems right at their fingertips?
Well, what this will do is, in addition, you're going to have GPS, you're going to have global positioning systems. So we're going to be able to see, and the county communications is going to be able to see where the closest car is to certain locations. We're going to know where our cars are. We're going to be able to do hotspot policing based on the crime mapping. They're going to be able to do what we call silent dispatch. As you know, anybody could get a scanner and know what we're doing or where we're at. If there's an urgent call, we will be able to silent dispatch from the county through that CAD, tell somebody take a look on your screen, and bam, now they know exactly what's going on. So that technology is extremely important for a lot of reasons. You know, fighting crime, the aspect of the hotspot policing, the technology, the silent dispatch, all of those things, the camera streams, so you'll be able to put cameras if there's cameras connected. You know, those are the things that you want to be able to do out there. Report writing is important because it keeps police officers on the street instead of having to come into headquarters. Those are just important aspects. If we're successful in getting a shot spotter, a gunshot detection system, that will be live on their screen so that you don't have to wait for a 911. The second a gunshot goes off, if there is one, police officer could be right around the corner. Those GPS, the system will show them the person that's responsible, the vehicle that's fleeing. All of that is stuff that will keep people out of Hazleton that will be afraid of those technological advancements because they're going to know we're going to have, you know, higher solvability as a result of it and be able to be on top of it.
Now, you know, why is it so important for them to have, you know, the mapping to see where, you know, the hot spot or the dangerous parts, you know, of the city, where the most crime happens? You know, what's, you know, how does that happen? How does that create it? And, you know, why is it so important for the police to have?
Well, what it is, in evidence-based policing, you know, in the 21st century policing report, evidence-based policing is really the best way. You can predict where crimes are going to occur. You can prevent crimes from occurring by looking at that mapping in those clusters. What it does is it tells you if you're working days today, you can find out from 8 to 10 where accidents occur and maybe prevent them by putting a car there. You can find out where burglaries occur from 2 to 4 and you can put a car in that area. You know, it's very patternistic and it's predictive. You know, so predictive analysis, predictive policing, and evidence-based solutions is really 21st century policing. And without those, you know, computer-based solutions, you have nothing. So you have to start thinking that you have to use old-time type of policing with foot patrols, but you have to use new state-of-the-art evidence-based solutions to combine them to make that preventative crime prevention, putting police officers where they need to be at the times they need to be.
Mayor, we've talked many times, we've done numerous stories, we've done a number of shows on it. Budgeting for the police department always seems to be the hot topic when we get to budget season. We're in July already. 2017 budget is probably in its first stages of being drafted. You know, what are we looking at as term as getting more money for more police, more equipment in their budget for 2017?
Well, obviously, I'm going to bring up the whole plan, the hiring plan again. We're still not up to the number of officers we had last year, which, with the funding we have, we will not be able to replace this year. So there should be, we have to be able to try to figure it out with council. Are they going to give us some money for, at least bring us back to where we were years ago? And I would like where I would like to be. So it's something that's definitely already did start. Like you said, our budget is in the process. The first stage is definitely, Tom has it, you know, already up. But we're going to have to try to get equipment and everything through the budget. You know, we said we can't keep limping through and playing catch up all the time. We want to be proactive, and to be proactive, we need more men, we need more equipment, and that's the only way we're going to solve our issues.
Right now, looking, you know, what happened with the 2016 budget, you know, where is the city standing at now with funding for, you know, the essentials, you know, the one being the police department? Is there enough money to get through 2016?
We may be able to limp through if we do take the advance payment from the Water Authority, and I don't hire, there's 6 to 7 positions I have not filled. Like I said, people have been doubling up their jobs to help. We may be able to limp through November into December. We're going to have some issues at the end of the year, which we'll have to talk about that when the time comes, some kind of a borrowing again, but it's very touchy, you know.
Okay, so there's a lot going on there. Chief, with what the mayor just said, you know, how is the force they'll show up and do their job, no matter what, and make sure the citizens are protected. But at some point it must be a hard pill to swallow when they're not certain what's going to happen next if funding doesn't come through for some of these projects, and you have officers working overtime, and it becomes more and more of a problem when you have officers who are now fatigued because they're working 24 hours or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
So how does that affect a police officer?
It's a serious safety. They've shown in the 21st century policing, the President's task force on 21st century policing, that officer wellness and safety is affected by being understaffed. Police officers will continue to work and they'll continue to do their job, but what you run the risk of is you run the risk of injury, you run the risk of somebody getting seriously hurt, and you run the risk of burnout. Right. Police officers can only do so much. Like I said, at a certain point when we were working 20 hours, you just have to stop. You have to physically sleep. You're running on adrenaline, and you can't go any further.
Right.
You can only do so much. So, rotating those people through, you have to give them a day off. You have to give them time to rest. You can't just burn people out, or you're going to have injuries. Officer wellness and safety is an important component of making sure. The morale is great. The police officers are doing a tremendous job. They work extremely hard. They care. They're dedicated. They're team players. I couldn't be prouder to stand shoulder to shoulder with them. But I tell you, officer safety and wellness is an important component.
Okay. All right, we're going to stop right there. We'll take our final break here on Topic A. Stay with us. More with the Chief and the Mayor. We come back right after this break.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible, with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Pennsylvania Pipeline Music TV features performances and interviews with the best musicians from all over, showcasing their original music and sharing their stories. The Pennsylvania Pipeline Studios are located in the North Central Mountains in the heart of Pennsylvania, pumping out the best new original music from all ages and genres. It's the best music show in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Pipeline Music TV, Wednesdays at 8:30, Sundays at 9 on WYLN TV 35.
If you're not in danger and you see a crime, text 274-637, 274-637, 274-637. Send your tip, take them off the street. Text 274-637. Send your tip, take them off the street. No one will know your identity.
Now helping to solve or prevent the crime is just a text away. Text my tips to the word crimes and let the law help you.
WYLN has strong ties to the community, and it's committed to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hands Society telethons. WYLN's commitment to Pennsylvania continues with the broadcast of Hazelton's Fun Fest Parade and the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants Despair Hill Climb. And throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other community events. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm here with Police Chief Jerry SPEZIALE, Mayor Jeff CUSAT, and I want to end the show with talking about what's been going on in our nation recently with all the shootings that have happened involving police officers that have stretched from Texas to Baton Rouge and across the nation. And Chief, somebody who's been in law enforcement for many, many years and who has worked in big cities and small communities like here in Hazleton, what type of effect does that have on police forces like Hazleton, where we're seeing what's going on across the nation. How does that affect your men and women, and what are you telling them, you know, in light of all this?
You know, our heartfelt sympathies go out to the victims of that tragic event in Dallas. You know, I immediately told them to be aware of their surroundings, to make sure that they take the necessary precautions, that to not have the attitude that it won't happen here. You have to be cognizant of it can happen here. So I spoke to them. We ran 2-man cars for a couple days. You know, you really just have to tell them to do their job and to be mindful of their surroundings. I mean, that's really what this is all about. You know, you never know when you're going to be ambushed. We've had ambushes here in Hazleton, so it's possible that it can happen here. You know, you just have to be aware of what you're going into, and you can't go into it blindly. And that's really the message that I've been giving the officers, you know, to make sure that they know what their surroundings are about and that they're mindful of anything can happen and that they have to be able to back each other up. And they do. They all back each other up. They work together. Now, that's a good thing about Hazleton Police Department. They have a very good teamwork mentality, the spirit of working together. Everything works very well here. Everybody is, the motivation is at and the morale is at an all-time high. Everybody's doing a really good job.
You know, I have to ask, you do a lot of traveling on Interstate 80 back and forth between here and New Jersey. You know, how, you know, going into this now 6 months under Mayor CUSAT, you know, how's the relationship being back and forth between Patterson and Hazleton? It's
not really a problem at all. You know, I'm not far from here in distance, you know, so it's really not a big deal. You know, what most people don't realize is for my entire career, I commuted to New York City. I don't think there was ever a time that my commute was less than 1 hour and 50 minutes. My commute is a half of that. You know, so it's a shortened commute for me, and it's not far. You know, you have a homicide. Who was on the scene? I was here on that scene. So it's not something that, you know, like I'm 300 miles away. That's not the case. I'm not 100, so it's something that's doable.
And I know, you know, I think this police department has come a long way with a lot of things that have changed since you've been here in leading this department. But, you know, Mayor, you still get the questions, you know, and I think you probably will get them for the next couple of months, even through the next budget season. You know, how are you paying for a police chief that's not really in the budget? And, you know, where does that stand with the next budget season?
Well, it would come down to one of them other officers that were not replaced from the years past. That money was in the budget to hire an officer last year, so it's just been transferred to pay the head guy instead of the low end guy that was supposed to be rehired.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I think you guys are doing a great job. You know, and when I watched the news in the morning and I saw that you were here, which is a great thing, and especially to have a chief out there in front and a mayor standing behind them who's not afraid to be out there on the front lines when things are happening. I think that's great.
And that's a great message to the public, you know, that we're here, and we will be here when it happens.
And I know a lot of great things. We've talked about the 21st century policing, bringing the Hazleton Police Department forward. The 2 new cars I saw on the street are looking great. New ones are coming with the LSA money, and of course all the computers, and also that will be a great thing for the city to have moving forward. And again, you're always welcome back next month.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And of course, remember, everyone, we have all this information for you here on Topic A. Make sure you tune in and watch here, not only with the police chief, the fire chief, and everything we've been talking about here in Hazleton, moving the city forward. One of the greatest things, when I sat down with Mayor CUSAT the first time and I said, my show is open to you anytime you want to come on to inform the people of Hazleton what's going on, this show is yours. Thanks for joining us, everyone, here on Topic A. Remember, this is where the community comes to talk, and this is where the information comes so we can get it to you so you know what's going on in your city. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time.